Hi, it's Dan Hamilton, entrepreneur and inspirer. Our focus is to help you connect the dots to get from where you are to where you want to be. Asking quality questions, having a ability to listen and pay attention to detail, but it all starts with a decision. So I will ask you, when will you decide that you can become the person you've always wanted to become? How I grew up was dad was a turkey farmer, mom was a school teacher. So I learned at a very young age that manual labor was not for me. So going to school, I was looking for what things could happen for me. But the one thing that stood out to me was my dad always told me from a very, very young age that is find a way to work for yourself. So that was one thing that always stuck in my head, because he said, hey, look, at the end of the day, yes, I may have to work hard. Yes, I may work 7 days a week, but I always answer to myself. So from that was a piece that was in my mind. 19 years old, I had the opportunity or had the connections to be able to start my first business. So 19 years old, thought I knew everything, thought the whole world revolved around me, and got into a technology business and began selling technology products. By 20 years old, I was making a 6-figure income, and I thought that life was just going to fly and I was going to be the anomaly. By 21 years old, I had lost that all. So 21 years old, I needed to make a reset. That's where a lot of struggles started to begin. So began to struggle, trying to look for what was going to be the next move, what was going to be the next step. So I made the logical or illogical, however you want to look at it, decision to move to New York City. So me, a group of my friends, we moved to New York City. I'm talking boxes in the U-Haul, driving out, got out of the U-Haul, threw the boxes in the apartment, didn't unpack the boxes for like 6 weeks because we were just going to the city to try to find our opportunities. And what I found was being a turkey farmer in the city, not knowing anyone, and having a ton of debt and no money was probably not the best decision of my life. But from that standpoint, I learned to start to survive. So I was working 3 jobs. I was looking to start a business on the side. And at that time, that's when I met my now beautiful wife, Cindy. So when she met me, definitely did not meet me for money because I had none. But some way, somehow, I still convinced her to start dating me. And at that standpoint, she was someone that was way more organized than me, but also had a ton of vision and a ton of belief of what she wanted to accomplish, because she came from a place that her family always owned businesses as well. We started to progress, or we started to look for what was our next thing. So on top of working our multiple jobs, we got into the health nutrition business. The health nutrition business started to grow for us, but it was bit by bit and step by step. And the moment that really changed our life or our trajectory was my wife came to me and said, hey, I think we should put our goals down on paper. And not just our financial goals, but let's put our personal goals on paper. Let's put our financial goals on paper, and let's put our relationship goals on paper. And let's make a big deal of it. So with very little money, probably the only last $200 we had, we booked a spa day. We got to do the spa together. We spent about 4 or 5 hours hashing out what our goals were for that year. And then we started to review those every quarter. For the next 4 years of our life, our income doubled 4 years in a row. So even at a small income, having your income double 4 times starts to get to a pretty good number. So at our height, we got up to $500,000-$600,000 a year of income. And we, again, thought we were making it and thought the world was growing. And at that point, our lifestyle was pretty nice because we had actually moved back to Ohio at that time. We had a lot of money coming in, and we were also traveling. So I spent 9 months out of the country. We went to 40 countries. We were 70% in Australia and Europe. And again, thought life was just going to take off. During that time period, we opened up dance studios and personal training gyms as well. So we had multiple businesses going on, and things were progressing. And that's when the big roadblock happened. And I would say up to this point in my career, up to this point in my life, was probably, at least professionally, the largest challenge for us. So back in, it would have been 2015, Big change with the company that we were selling products for, lost half of our income. At that same time, the Dan Susan personal training gyms that I had gone under as I stepped away from it. And with half of our income away and beginning to dwindle, we started to go backwards financially. So at that standpoint, at 2016, kind of had hit a rock bottom for us where we had done really well. So over a 3-year period, had made almost over or just under $2 million. And at this point, we had negative, or we were in debt, $300,000, no income, and didn't know what we wanted to do next. So back in 2016, when I had the realization that I had to start over, it was a humbling moment because it was a place that I never thought that I would have to be again, and a place that I never expected to be again, because I'm typically someone that wants to focus on the big picture, focus on the positive, focus on moving forward, and I had to really reevaluate what things were the most important to me. At this time, life had changed quite a bit. We had started our family, so we already had our first daughter and our second daughter on the way at that time. Just had to reset and reevaluate. So what I did was I took on probably 40-50 meetings at that time of people that I had met through life, people that I had got introduced to, and I really just decided to open up myself to whatever opportunities come my way. So I had coffees, I had lunch, I grabbed beers, I did everything I could do and say, hey, look, here's where I'm at. This is what I've done. What do you think I should do next? So from that standpoint is we started 2 new projects. Back in 2016, we started a tiny house company, was building those little tiny house on wheels. It was a cool little project, but we knew that it was gonna be a short term, more of a niche trendy thing. So grew that business for about 18 months, was able to successfully sell out of that business, which was a big boost or a big relief for us, which really helped us to start getting things going in the right direction. During that time period, we also started financial planning practice. At the beginning of that, not sure where it was gonna go, but I knew that it checked the boxes of the areas I was looking for. Things I was looking for in my career or my next step was something that I could do for the rest of my life because I didn't want to have to rebuild. I wanted something that I could have unlimited income with. I wanted something that I would have a sellable asset, or I could transition to my daughters if they so chose to. And I wanted a place that I could have my efforts continue to build a larger residual income. So checked all the boxes, so started to put a lot of energy and passion into that. Over the last 3 years, I've seen my life completely get back on track. Been able to start answering or getting back to where we wanted to be. Still not to the ultimate goal, but have definitely been able to get back to the reset, which is where we're able to do, right? So in a 3-year period, pretty excited about our results so far, and then more importantly, have built a foundation that we know life can continue to grow from. Asking quality questions, having a ability to listen and pay attention to detail, but it all starts with a decision. So I will ask you, when will you decide that you can become the person you've always wanted to become?